Louisiana beer reviews. Blue Jacket. Challengers India Pale Ale with Galaxy hops. Alcohol 7% by volume. So, well, this company doesn't say a whole lot about this on their website. Just said it got Galaxy hops, and they have a restaurant called Arsenal Restaurant there. And they're trying to make it look like old 1970s or late 60s game. Kids game. Toy set. Says drink at 48 degrees. They're showing a different type glass. I'd rather use a, not a tasting glass like they're showing, like Anheuser-Busch tasting glass. I'd rather use the tulip. But anyway, this is the first video review for this product in the world. And Beer Advocate and Rate Beer don't have enough scores to give it an average, and I think the few scores it gets on Untappd, well, Untappd gets a lot because this is located in Washington, D.C. I think it's 73, which is good for them. Let's see. All of a sudden, Blue Jacket beer started showing up at Mathern's. So down here in Louisiana, we started getting it. And other people are saying, I never heard of this company. So it's strange what we get and what we don't get. Okay, it's like orange, a golden orange. No. Wrong. It's more gold than orange. It's like an orangish tinted gold. Relatively thin head of foam. And it's opaque. I mean, it's typical hazy IPA. Eastern IPA, Washington, D.C., of course. So let's go with the aroma. I've been to D.C. many times, but I've never been to this brewery. I never heard of it until this year. Smells fruity. I mean, it's like fruit more than bread or malt, okay? Taste. There's bitterness, okay? There is bitterness, not just all fruit bomb. It does taste like an India Pale Ale. Many of these taste like pale ales. And they just call them India Pale Ales, but they're really not, in my opinion. But the bitterness is low. It's not, you know, I mean, a Bud Light drinker might think, wow, it's really bitter. But people that are seasoned, so to speak, in a craft beer sense are going to say, oh, that's pretty low bitterness. I started drinking craft beers, or what we called back then, I guess, specialty beers or microbrewery beers, I guess people said. Then you start hearing the word craft beer. Well, it wasn't long after that. In 96, I started trying them out, right along with the macros, the mass-produced beers. I would say 3.5 out of 5 hop cones, sugar units. It's sort of sweet, not really. 2.5 out of 5 sugar cubes, okay? The body's medium. The finish is mostly dry, as with most beers. You get those beers with a sweet finish, and they can just be unpleasant. It's like too much sugar sweetness, and it's cloying and gross. All right, but those are rare, thankfully. Even with the cheap mass-produced ones, they're rare. Even the flavored ones. So those companies do have a knack for pulling off the dry finish, relatively dry finish. Nice lacing, more than I had thought I was going to get. Hazy IPAs, not really my style. I think it's becoming less of a style for people these days. Seems to be, I'm not saying fading away. No. But it seems to be in a relative decline compared to 5 years ago. Quite less popular, I think. But still very popular, and they're going to continue on. And the old style American IPAs are going to increase a bit in popularity, I think, but not back to the extent of 2010, 2011, 2012. No, I don't think so. But it's interesting to try to look and see where the beer world's going. We don't really know. We might think we know. I think it's good. It's not excellent. It's not most excellent, but it's a good beer. Maybe not even very good, but good. It's a good beer. So if you said, what do you think about Blue Jacket Challengers India Pale Ale? I would say it's good. I'll score it an 87. 8.7 out of 10. And I was glad that I got it on. Mathern's, for whatever reason, this past week had them all the Blue Jacket beers discounted to $1.99 as opposed to the normal like $4.29, $3.99 to $4.29 a can. I wasn't so geared up to pay that, but that's the going rate these days for pint cans of craft beer. But $1.99, I said, yeah, I'm on that. I was paying that for craft beer, well, usually 12-ounce bottles 10 years ago, $1.99, $2, So that's a great benefit. Is there going to be any chunk action? Might cloud it up a little bit. It's going to certainly give a little head of foam. Yeah, I guess it made it even more opaque. Well, I can't pour any more because it's a lot. All right, so 7%. You might say, 7%'s nothing. It's nothing. It's something, okay? If you start knocking back pint cans of 7%, you might think you're okay. You're not going to be okay, all right? People are going to notice. We were doing the 8% Reds Wicked Apple and Jean-Pierre with natural flavors, ale with natural flavors, and caramel color. And Jean-Pierre was saying, the beverage ramble, these things don't affect me. They're like nothing. It's like nothing to me, And I was like, oh, really? And then he got through the whole can. And at the end of the video, he was rather exuberant. I thought, didn't affect you, huh? Sure. It was funny to watch. That was part of the hangout. But anyway, so that's it. A B, a good beer, and I'm glad I paid a good price. So, laissez-les bon temps roulés. I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Washington, D.C. and visit the Blue Jacket Brewery, and I'd like to do that.